I wanted to make a video named Strength Stacking versus Attunement Stacking, which one is better, something alike, but while going through my two characters, which pretty much are the same character, but one is stacking strengths, the other one is stacking attunement, I realized it's not really mostly the comparison of strength versus attunement, but the comparison of a defensive approach versus an offensive approach, which includes strength versus attunement, but overall is a choice of different gear overall. And I have talked about a lot of different gear points, and I have talked about these characters so much that I don't feel like repeating everything everywhere. Actually, what I want to do is just showcase the both characters in about more or less the same areas. So we take about corruption 5 to 600 and just clear a monolith and just talk a little about how the characters play. Because this one is my legacy variant, my strength stacking variant, and I had to roughly play to Cycle of Fortune rank 7 to actually equip my pieces back, because this one had no gear equipped pretty much and was very annoying. So I've got that back up, and pretty much the biggest difference is that we can just run through a lot of stuff here on this character. The other character would die pretty much just being looked at, which we might be able to see later on. But you see, this character isn't invulnerable either. We still are taking damage, but we are not nearly taking as much. We can take some hits, we can run through some enemies. Overall, fairly chill playstyle, so at 600 corruption, this one plays very smooth. I did test around in 1000 corruption with this character just a few seconds ago, and while it still can tank some hits, it doesn't really kill enemies quickly. And here in about 600 corruption, this still feels pretty good while being fairly tanky also. So generally, I'd say if you just want like a tanky mapper and still have decent clear speed, then the tanky approach most likely is the one. Oh my god, dangerous here. More for you than the glass cannon variant, because the glass cannon variant will die a lot more. I still don't know why these event enemies have to be so insanely tanky. It's very weird. But generally, this version already is tankier than my not tankier, more offensive than my previous approaches. Because I've had this character at like 4k HP at some point, but did go into more damage-oriented variant later on when I pushed higher corruption, because I felt like this was the way to go. But as a very quick comparison, I mean, just go to 8 Maelstrom stacks. Then check here, we have 129k damage. Or yeah, by about 120k between 8 and 12 stacks. And well, it's not insane, but it's pretty decent. And as you've seen, you can clear 600 corruption fairly easily and just play fairly chill. This is pretty good. You can also do bosses okay-ish, but here you can quickly see where the damage-oriented version excels at. Because I'm not even sure if we can get this well here, but I do think I can tank pretty much anything here. Aside from the laser, there we need to be careful. But you see the damage for to be in there. The damage is okay-ish, but not like really crazy or something. We're getting him down. From my other videos you've seen, if you've checked it, we can kill like Aberrath in 4 seconds on the other variant, so you see the damage is a lot lower here. Finishing the fight and then checking the other char and doing more or less the same content once, just you have a direct comparison. But again, the other one is, as you've seen, way more damage focused, way less tanky. But in general, the overall build is pretty much the same. There's just some changes on how I approach the gear, some different pieces, like here we went for +4 tornado instead of +4 maelstrom. A plus for Maelstrom here would work as well, just to get the healing in and stuff like that. So this one already is at like 500 health rack, but you could get up to like 1000 health rack fairly easily, which is pretty good. Yeah, you want to be down here so the laser goes above your head. Want to tank. I'm not sure if I can actually take the hit, but feel the need to test it out. Again, just go down the stairs to not get hit by the laser. I'm down, yes. Huh? Didn't I activate? Okay. I didn't activate a harbinger, but whatever. You've seen the boss, so I said we had 120k transformed here, so let's take a look at the other variant. Very quickly get into the character selection. Oh, why this is taking so long now? Cycle with the bolt. And mostly what I wanted to emphasize on that this character has such a wide range of variation. You can gear it and a lot of cool opportunities to make it like your build. Because there's just so many options there. It can take so much different gear as I have showcased in the last video. But also the different variant quickly shows and how different the character is when you just change a bit of gear. Because it gets so much more tanky just from having some different pieces on. So first of all, let's compare. The stats are more or less similar, but just that strength and attunement is reversed. I do have some strength pieces on at this point, so we have quite a bit also, but here we have like 2k armor. The other character has about 10k armor, which is noticeably much more. But when we go to the stacks of Maelstrom, we wanted 12 something. We see we have 110, which already is like twice as much and can be much higher even if we buff it up with like a totem or something, which of course is something we could use on the other character as well. But is it like the totem tag is something very boss focused. So let's take a look. 629 corruption, fairly similar. But here we cannot really risk taking hits, so we are clearing everything more or less off screen. Try to keep this up at all times. Because if enemies hit us here, we will die. Most likely. Because our biggest defense layer is our endurance. So the high damage pretty much keeps enemies away from us mostly. Would be so stupid if I'd get a new staff now. But yeah, I could say the clear of course is faster, but yeah, we can see what happens if we just run into enemies by mistake. You are dead pretty much instantly, which is very sad. But then again, character is made for bossing, so actually yes we do. Again it is Lagoon. It is a slight difference in damage. And it was the same, what's called? The same corruption, so pretty much the same strength of enemy, and we just obliterated him in like split seconds. I personally do prefer the high DPS variant, but I'm just very much into glass cannons. My playstyle. But yeah, this pretty much is everything I wanted to showcase, because we have talked about gear a lot lately, and I just want to showcase two very different variants of the build. But overall, I think the best idea is to take the build, test out different styles, test out different gears, slam some pieces, wear it, change the skill tree around, and just see what matches your liking, and then go with what you prefer or feels best to you. So this pretty much is everything I want